Now can you hear
Yeah, I can hear
it?
you.
How are you?
Good. We're trying to come up with a name, right?
Oh yeah. I'm going to find the names because I won't remember them all.
Yeah. And as we were trying to come up with a name, I used GPT, and I put in all our little descriptors and all the things that sort of we had talked about.
GBT again.
It's the AI.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of I asked him to help me generate a name. And so it spit out this word Brambly. And I was like, what is that word? I love that word.
Yeah. Brambly, adding a sense of wildness and unpredictability. And I liked the Brambly bit because I used to have these berries that grew on my property and I had no idea what they were, but they were delicious. And a friend of mine used to call, when we made jam out of them, my friend would call it Bramble Jam. And because we didn't
Ah,
know what the berries were. And so it was just like brambly berry stuff. So I love this idea of where was it? Wildness and unpredictability, but also the discomfort of reaching into a bramble bush. Like there is discomfort and you have to be careful, but then you get these fruits that are so good and so delicious and useful and good for you, but you do have to go through that discomfort and that carefulness of wading through. I love that image. It's so
yeah.
good. And I feel like that's what we're all, I don't know, when I think of our conversations, we're not afraid. You and I are not afraid to do that together. We don't, there's no sense of fear when, if I might bring something up that you disagree with, I'm not worried that there's going to be any horrid backlash. And we're not afraid to reach into those uncomfortable places and do a little bit of that disagreeing or a little bit of questioning or, and
Yeah.
then to get these beautiful fruits out from the end of it. But I
Yeah.
think lots of people I know are really afraid to do that. They're afraid to reach in. I'm dark. Look how dark I don't know what's going on. Anyway.
Maybe the Brambly and Bloom is the right name.
Yeah, that's right. I'm over here and you're oh.
That was one of the options.
I actually didn't mind Brambly and Bloom, but it did remind me of like I felt like we should have a sitcom.
Yeah, like we should be drinking tea and like
Yeah. There's
reading
a murder
Bloom.
mystery happening somewhere. We've got to sort it out. Brambly and Bloom. I keep saying broom.
That would be
Anyway, I love the bramble. I love the bramble idea.
Now you just
With
said
that.
Brambly Jam, and I actually really like that.
Brambly Jam. Oh yeah, because jam has the music element as well.
But
For
also
those playing at home,
like
we're both two musicians just pondering our way through the world. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, definitely Brambly's in there somewhere.
It has to be. And now I like Brambly Jam.
I like that too.
Yeah. There we go. Maybe that's what it's going to be. Who knows? Anyway, that's why I liked Brambly.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I liked the Rhapsody one because so one of the AI suggestions was Brambly Rhapsody.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Rhapsody probably because it reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I know that's automatically what I think of. Like,
And that's yeah, and I kind of thought of all the drama and all the levels and all the like just it's Bohemian Rhapsody is just chaos, really, kind of made into this really fabulous and everyone loves it. Everyone loves
yeah,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
so good. So good. So we're gonna do like we're just gonna catch up with each other once a week for 10 minutes and just see what comes out. So
Yeah.
spontaneous conversation.
Mm.
And just for our first one, why don't we just share a little bit about ourselves so people know who we are and why they would want to hang out with us for 10 minutes on a Tuesday?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think you should start.
Okay. Maybe we should try to explain each other.
Oh, look out. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. I like that. That's fun.
Okay.
So then I'm going to start because I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So firstly, I need to clarify yet again if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. because, and I can see you wheeze laughing now. Like that's because I feel like there's a thing with you, but I call you Jana because I swear that's how I was introduced to you.
It is.
But I noticed the other day, even you called you Jana or something. And I was like, oh no, which is which? So first, before I explain you, you should probably introduce your actual name.
Okay, it depends on what part of the world you're from and how you say the letter J. Because people who are traditionally saying the letter J, like I grew up saying the J with a hard sound. I grew up hearing my name, Jana, how you said it first. But in countries that I've traveled, because I've been to 28 countries, where they use a soft J, when they try to say my name with the hard J, it comes out Jana, Jana, like all kinds of other things. So I realized that if I just say it with the soft J, they can say it right back to me exactly how it's supposed to sound, which is Jana.
Okay.
So in Australia, even though Australians can say the hard J, you guys have a famous actress or news reporter or somebody named Jana
Jana
Yeah.
Vent.
And so when I try to say my name here, like I would back home, people are like, what? But if I just say Jana, then they're like, oh yeah, Jana. So
okay.
I'm in Australia, living here now, so that's how I say it here, but it doesn't matter how you say it. Actually, I don't care. But
it's nice when people at least try, though. I've heard lots of people say that, but we'll go with Jana because we are in Australia now. So
yeah, we are.
Totally
and you're Australian, but you actually say it right as an Australian. So I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Okay, fine. I'm going to call you Jana then, because that's what I've always called you right from the start. So, all right. Anyway, this is Jana, and how would I describe you? I would describe you as hospitality on legs. That's when I think of Jana's spirit. I like to think of who people are in themselves, not necessarily banked up on what they do or what they look like or where they live. And if I were to describe you, Jana, it would definitely be just this enormous spirit of hospitality and welcome. Like I don't do cuddles and things. Like I'm not a really physically demonstrative person, but just when you're in Jana's presence, it is like a big spirit hug, which is much more down my line of being with people. So, and as for what you actually do on this earth and why you would want to listen to Jana speak for 10 minutes is because you're an explorer. That's how I see you. Wouldn't it be? I'd be interested to see how you would describe yourself now. You're an explorer of the spirit, and you have a way of thinking about your spirituality and your spiritual journey that is beautiful and quite nuanced, and you're strong in what you believe, but you're not afraid of having other people come into that and to talk about all the other things and guidance and just gentle, you're just a gentle stream of hospitality, welcomeness, spiritual cuddles. There you go. I'm done. Probably not what you actually meant for me to do, but there you go.
That was amazing. It feels showered with blessings.
Good. Good. Oh, and she's a musician who sings really nicely. Sorry, on top of that.
I do that too. Yeah. Okay, so Melly Swan.
Yeah, it's Melly or Melinda, because if you call me Mel, I feel like I'm in trouble.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good to know.
So there you go. Look, we're getting into our names now.
Yeah. I like Melly. It's fun. I'll call you Melinda when we're getting really serious.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
When we're having fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. You are a woman of wonder and awe, and you are creative, and you are also welcoming. You are super funny, and you make me feel funny. You're quick-witted, and I love that about you because you can, you just are able to capture these little flecks of humor and light and bring them into even heavy situations. And I don't know, maybe it comes from your Finnish background, or maybe it's
unlikely.
yeah, I think so. And I love that you do deep dives into your family heritage and history. That's beautiful too. You are an artist and a teacher, on a practical but also spiritual level. And yeah, and I want to hear more about Meli Swan, where this comes from, because you told me about your name.
Yeah, sure. So the Meli Swan thing. So I got married when I think I was about 23. And of course, you change your name when you get married too. Well, you don't have to, but at the time, it was very unusual if you didn't when I got married. And we did throw around the idea of what the different ways of doing that, because that's one thing that I often do. I don't like doing things just because people say that's how you do them, and that's causes me trouble from time to time. But that's just the way I am. But we both felt comfortable doing this name shift thing, so I became Melinda Britton. And then there were these years where Wade and I were divorced. But in Australia, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world. You need to pay to change your name back to your maiden name. And I thought about doing that, but I didn't really like my maiden name, because I have to be careful saying this in social media, but look, let's just say that I don't love the history of my maiden name, like the family history. I'm sure there were beautiful people in that family, but look, it's all colonialist and all a bit bleh. So I was having a parent-teacher interview with some parents at the school that I was working with, and one of the parents said, we got about names, and I tend to do this thing where I don't know if I have a sign on my head, or like it's some sort of a vibe that just says, let's go real deep, real quick, even though we don't know each other at all. And yeah, she kind of said, we got into names, and she said, well, what name would you have? And I said, oh, I have no idea. And she said, well, what do you love? What do you really love? And I said, I love Cygnet. That's the place where I lived for a little while. I love Cygnet. I would love to live there. And of course, Cygnet is a baby swan. And she said, oh, well, why don't you change your last name to Cygnet? And I said, no, that's Melinda Cygnet. No, that's not going to work. And then she said, oh, what about Swan? Ooh, Meli Swan. That's got such a nice ring to it. And I kind of held, and I was like, oh, I like that, because then I can take a part of my life that I can't have anymore that I did cherish and love. So I use it as my artist name and my business name. And I don't know, Swan's kind of, you've got the whole, although I have had children lately challenge me on the whole ugly duckling swan story. They're like, isn't it interesting that the ugly duckling is only accepted once it's a beautiful swan? No, it's, and because they're going down the whole, why do we have to be beautiful to be accepted? And that's a wonderful conversation to have in itself. But there is this amazing transformation from Cygnet to Swan. Like it's very dramatic compared to other species,
Beautiful.
of animals. So yeah, there you go.
I love it. It's wonderful.
That's that.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to our conversations, and this is a good first start.
We've probably gone over our 10-minute limit.
Yeah, that's okay. It's the first one.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Oh, cool. Well, my dear, how should we close our time? Do we want to create like a little jingle, or do we want to create like a little ritual of like a blessing, or?
I think that we should always sing a song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sing one and then you sing one.
Okay.
And I'll teach it to you, and then you can teach me yours. I actually was just singing it the other day because where I live here in Byron Bay in Bunjil Country, the clouds have been really heavy, which is really unusual. It's usually very sunny here. And so I was riding my bike to the market and it was looking like it was going to rain. And I decided to be thankful for the rain as well as the sun. I can be a bit of a sun hog. But so I started singing, thank you for the sun, thank you for the rain, thank you for the way that you sustain my breath and being, my breath and being.
Yeah, cool. I like that.
That's just sweet.
Yeah. Thank you for the sun, thank you for the rain, thank you for the
way that you sustain
my
breath and being.
Breath and being.
Yes.
Can you do that as a round?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for
thank you for the sun. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for the sun. Now I've lost the rest. We'll practice. We'll practice that. I like it. I like it.
Oh, that's awesome. I forgot Zoom has
a delay. Then I can learn it. Yeah, the delay doesn't help, does it?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll teach you mine next time.
Yes. All right, my dear.
Yes.
See you next Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Yes, please.
Mwah.
Bye.